Hello everybody and welcome to my channel, Arts by Ash. Today we are going to be making a Zeus lightning bolt painting and I'm really excited for this one. It's pretty simple. You just have to do a lot of blending and a lot of dabbing with your brush. Thankfully I can almost recycle my paint that I just used on a project before this where we made a little galaxy painting. It's super fun, super easy. So I would almost suggest after this one, if you've got extra paint, go ahead and watch this tutorial and use up that extra paint. But for this one, I already have some paint, and what colors I have is I have cerulean blue, ultramarine blue, magenta light, emerald green, and viridian green, and then of course black and white. For this painting, I might end up just using about 4 colors, but you can decide what color you want your sky to be, and what you basically would need is, say you want a green sky, you're gonna need a light green and a dark green, and then you need black and white. Say you want kind of a pink-purple sky, then you're gonna want, you know, like a lighter purple/pink and a darker purple or pink, and then black and white. So it's up to you. You could do the same thing with blue, whatever you want your lightning sky to look like. I'm probably gonna do, I'm thinking blue, so I'm gonna do this cerulean blue and ultramarine blue. So what we're gonna do first is I'm gonna show you all the materials I have. So of course we have the paint, and then I found these little cosmetic wedges which work great for applying paint. They're like a little sponge. You can also try it with one of these little craft sponges too, as well as I have just a few small brushes for when I apply white over at the end to make our lightning bolts, and then I have of course paper towel for if my sponge gets a little too wet or I have too much paint on it. So I'm really excited. This is for my summer camp. We are learning about mythology, so I thought some Zeus paintings would be tons of fun. I got this primed black canvas from Amazon and I ordered it in bulk, so my students all will have their own canvas. So that's all, and I suppose we can get started. So I would suggest dipping one corner of your sponge in white and the other corner of your sponge in a color. You could do, I'm gonna do ultramarine blue, or you know what, I think I'm actually gonna start with cerulean blue. So I'm gonna dip a corner of cerulean blue and a corner in white. And we're just gonna kind of go for it, start dabbing in a section. And we're almost kind of making clouds is what the goal is right now. It's gonna take a little bit of time. And the nice thing is, if you get too much of your color on the canvas, you can always dip your sponge in black and go over it. So you can't really overdo the color because you can always go back and fix it. But we are gonna start with starting with highlights. So I laid kind of like a light blue. Now I just dipped my sponge in white and I'm gonna put that in the middle to kind of define my cloud, if you can see how I'm doing that. So that's kind of like my first cloud, and I'm gonna do another one kind of up in the top left corner. So again, I'm gonna do the same thing, dip my corner in blue and the other corner in white, and I'm gonna dab up at the top of my canvas. There's not really a wrong way to do this. You just kind of go for it. The fun part at the end is drawing the lightning bolt with some white paint over top of what we just dabbed, and it's really fun. So you're starting with the light areas, right? So now I'm gonna define it with just dipping white only in the middle of my cloud. So you see how we started with the light blue, then I took white and made a really light center, right? That's where our lightning bolt's probably gonna go through. So when we, at the end, draw our lightning bolt, we're gonna put it through the light areas, because right, the lightning's illuminating that cloud is what we're trying to make the effect of. And now I'm probably gonna try switching and using some of this dark blue around the edges. That looks really cool. And if it's too light, again, you can just dip a little bit of black. Remember, a little bit of black goes a long way. Black is a very strong color. It covers colors really fast. So if you're ever mixing with black, you definitely need a lot less black than you need of the other color you're mixing with. So we have that. And if it seems like it's kind of drying too fast, you can always dip your sponge in the water. So I'm gonna add some more blue just dipping blue and trying to blend in with that black. Again, you can do this with any colors. The trick is that you need different shades, right? A shade is when you have different lightnesses and darknesses. So a shade is a darker color, and a tint is a lighter color. Okay, so we have different areas. It's getting lighter. I think I'm gonna add some more white and make this cloud a little bigger. This is gonna be my main really big cloud in the middle, I think. And basically just all around this big center white cloud, I'm gonna put darker colors. So I did a lighter color in the middle. Now I'm gonna grab my darker blue, which is kind of starting to get a little bit dry because again, I used it in a painting before this, so I'll probably have to squeeze some more out shortly. That is okay. I'm all about using up my paint. I don't like to waste paint. So if you ever have paint left over at the end of a project, try and use it. Be creative. That's what I always suggest to people. Cool. I'm definitely gonna get some more of that pretty color. Again, it's ultramarine blue. Say that 5 times fast. You can't. I can't. So I just dipped it in that dark blue again. We're gonna go around this cloud. Honestly, I think the more random you get, the cooler this might actually turn out. I'm gonna do something new. I'm gonna dip a corner in the dark blue and a corner in the white. Right before I was doing a corner in the light blue and a corner in the white. Now I'm gonna try with the dark blue and the white and see if we can make a prettier color over here. And I gotta make sure my bracelet isn't dipping in the paint. It may not be a bad idea to leave some darker black spots. You probably don't have to cover the whole thing. There we go. And let's get some more light blue. I'm gonna try and get my lightning bolt to kind of go this way. So I'm taking that light blue over here and I'm gonna dip some more white with that light blue, and we are going crazy over here. We're getting really light. And remember, if you don't like how light it is, you can always add black over the top of that and just dip it in. Right, so we're just dabbing color basically all over. Just make sure you're switching it up. So if you just dipped this blue, then try dipping the other blue and applying it somewhere else, right? We're just trying to make it look like there's different areas that are lighter than others. I'm actually just gonna dip some black and see what it does. This is if I just use black. That actually looks pretty cool. I might apply that in more places actually. Maybe we'll go over here and do that. That's very cool. And let's get a little more of that dark blue and mix in with that black, just so we have some color peeking out. Again, this is when I might use my paper towel, right? I told you black's a really potent color. If you need to switch back to blue, it might not be a bad idea to try and squeeze some of that black paint out of your sponge. And look, your fingers are gonna get messy. So if you're doing this with little kids, just know that ahead of time, but they're gonna have tons of fun with this. Your hand might get a little tired, but that's okay. Trust the process. That's what I always say. I'm just gonna go for it. We're just having fun. I feel like Bob Ross right now. Happy little clouds, right? All right. I'm just gonna dip some black over these black areas so that my whole canvas is at least covered in paint. And there we go. So, like I said, I just kind of went for it. I have some areas that are dark, some areas that are light, right? Kind of spread out. If you want to take a little more time to spread some more dark areas and shadows and then put some light areas, may not be a bad idea. Right? All right, so that looks pretty cool, not gonna lie. And we are going to take our small brush, I have two options. I'm not sure which one might work better. I think I might do this one. It's a flat brush. It looks kind of like a rectangle. I think it's gonna give me a nice crisp line when I paint my lightning bolt. And remember, you're gonna look at where the light parts of your painting are. And that's where you kind of want your lightning bolt to follow, right? Because the lightning bolt is gonna illuminate these clouds. Down here, there may be a little bit of lightning, but it's not gonna be the main lightning bolt. So this is gonna be your fun part. You could possibly just like let this dry for a little bit for the sake of the video being shorter. I'm just gonna go over it. But maybe at the end you might wanna go over your white lightning bolt. So the trick is to just kind of make it random, right? Lightning bolt zigzag. It's gonna kind of go through my painting. See this, how I'm illuminating these clouds? It's looking really good. And I will probably go over this white paint at the end. I don't know if I'll put it in the video, but it will definitely kind of finish it, make it look nice and finished. Make sure that you're applying really well. And lightning is thicker in some areas, so don't be afraid to kind of make your line thicker at the top and make it get kind of skinnier at the bottom. Just explore with it. Think about it kind of like a snake, like it is just slithering across your page. And mine ended up kind of being like a diagonal lightning bolt. And what I might do is actually just bring it all the way off my page. So that's just the beginning part. What lightning does when you watch lightning shoot across the sky is it spreads out. So it might have one bolt that really kind of goes really far, but as it's going out, there's little pieces trickling off to the side. So we're gonna have to add those. And what I might do is use my smaller brush for those areas that are gonna trickle off to the side. But I'm gonna add maybe a few more lines with my bigger brush first. This is looking really cool. I didn't know how this was gonna turn out. This is my first time painting this, so it looks very cool. I'm very excited to see this finished. I know my students are gonna have tons of fun with this. Hopefully they turn out really good. I'm excited to see them. And I think I'm just gonna do one more little one coming out this way. Again, this is super random. I don't have much of a strategy other than, remember, I'm following those light areas that I added, if you can see that. So I think that's good for my bigger brush. I'm gonna take my smaller brush now and start adding areas that are gonna trickle out. I actually need more white paint. And a little trick as of an artist is don't squeeze more than you're gonna need, because you can always squeeze more out later, but if you start with too much, then it's kind of wasting paint again. So we gotta be thinking about stuff like that when we make our art. So this is fun. This is gonna be smaller lines that are just gonna kind of trickle off into the distant dark sky, right? Again, there's really not a wrong way to do this. It can trickle up, it can trickle down. Like that. Just make sure that you're getting nice coverage, I would say. This looks so cool. Zeus would be proud of this painting. I don't know if any of you have ever seen Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, but that's what this kind of reminds me of. Very cool. You could also do a similar project with black construction paper and chalk pastels. That would be fun. I almost kind of want to try that. This looks so cool. I am obsessed. Again, you're just gonna kind of keep going. So I'll probably keep going at this for a little while. You can watch, you can stay tuned, but it's basically almost done. And my favorite part of when I finish an artwork is you gotta sign it. So I'll probably wait for it to dry and then I'll take some white paint and I will sign in the corner. But I think I'm just gonna kind of keep adding little pieces. And try and make them go out in different directions if you can, instead of always just kind of going down. See if you can kind of get them to go out. Really fill up your page, right? Everything that comes out doesn't always have to be long either. You can have little short stuff like that. Very, very fun. I am also an elementary art teacher, so I may do this project with my students when we learn about mythology as well. And stay tuned because I'm going to be uploading other fun projects that I'm doing with my summer camp that have to do with like mythology and Greek gods and wizards. We also have a space and robot camp, which is going to be so fun. I designed a fun little roll a robot game, which is going to be hilarious. And I also have a tropical week coming up, so stay tuned for those tutorials. They're all very friendly videos. I try and make things as easy to do as possible, so you can do these projects with all ages. But even I'm 22 and I think this is very fun to paint, so I would do this with my girlfriends for sure. And I think I'm gonna stop there. You can definitely add more, and I honestly might try and dig through my painting box and find even a smaller brush than this and add more little pieces kind of breaking off. But that's pretty good. That's where I'm gonna stop. You can take a good look at it. I'm obsessed. Looks awesome. I hope you enjoyed this and that you have fun making your own. Again, you can also do the galaxy one. They look pretty cool by each other. I don't know if you can see them next to each other, but definitely cool pieces to hang up, you know, in your house or in your kid's bedroom. Anyways, hope you enjoyed and that you have a blessed day and have fun making art. Check out my other videos. Bye.